Hi guys, this is my review of Halloween 2018, and this is the last one I'll be reviewing for this year. I'll review Halloween 2, 5, The Curse of Michael Myers Resurrection, even the Rob Zombie ones next year, since they're my least favourite ones. With some of them being average and then, being awful movies. So yeah, well, in my opinion. But yeah, before I get into the movie's story, I first wanted to talk about the timelines again. I did say I was going to make a video on it, but I'd just rather discuss it like early. Who knows, maybe I could still kind of, but I don't know. Maybe talk about something else, maybe the sequel that was supposed to come this year. So yeah, even though I'm going to review all the bad Halloween movies next year, I should at least have, Halloween Kills, the next Halloween movie next year. So I can look forward to that. Just imagine if it sucks like all the bad movies I'm going to be watching of the Halloween movies. Oh god. Ugh. I just couldn't really review them this year. So yeah, let's talk about the timeline again. Yeah, the timeline. So with the original timeline, it goes from the first Halloween movie to the second, third, fourth, fifth Curse of Michael Myers Resurrection. Well, and then that's where the original timeline ends after Resurrection. So 1978 to Resurrection is the old timeline, and that's the original timeline. And then there's the reboot timeline, where all those previous movies didn't exist. So from 1978 to Resurrection, basically the movies from there, from the first one to Resurrection, they don't exist in this timeline. The Rob Zombie timeline, where he made 2 new movies that are not connected. Like it's like kind of like a new start, basically, a reboot. But the first one seems to, well, at least half of the movie focuses on Michael Myers, like from his upbringing. But yeah, I don't want to get too much into that. I'm just want to try to explain the timeline. So because we'll do that next time, I don't want to talk too much about that. But yeah, the first half is Michael Myers. The second half is, how the first one actually was. Yeah, when it focuses on Laurie Strode. Then the second one, just mayhem to the end. And it just seemed like darker movies. So sometimes I kind of call it the dark Halloween universe. Jeez, man. So yeah, then there's the latest timeline. So with this timeline, the first movie, the 1978 movie, happened, but Halloween 2, Halloween 3, Halloween 4, Halloween 5, Curse of Michael Myers, and Resurrection never happened. And we already know that the Rob Zombie movies are not connected to the previous timeline, well, the first timeline's movies, so yeah. So there's the Halloween 1978 to Resurrection timeline, there's the Rob Zombie timeline, and then there's this new timeline where the first movie happened, and then like 40 years later, this movie happened, what I'm reviewing now, which is the 2018 film. So the first movie and the 2018 film are the current timeline right now, so basically all the other movies, not including the first movie, didn't happen. So yeah, this is set like 40 years after the first movie. So yeah, that's what I'm going to say about that. So I'll probably get into the story now. Okay, so the story begins with a type of journalist, or whatever you call them. I kind of forget what you call them, but yeah. Well, there was this woman and man who are like journalists or something like that, who do like documentaries, something like that, yeah. And they wanted to get some insights on this Michael Myers character, who a lot of people have abandoned at this point because they never really could find out anything about him. He probably never really talked, maybe not at all. And we also meet Dr. Loomis's well, one of his students who becomes like too addicted to what Michael Myers was, man. Because with Dr. Loomis, he just knew how evil he was, and he just hopes that he never got free. Where with Dr. Loomis's, student, he seemed like he actually wanted him to be free, because he didn't really get to learn anything, because he became, he just became too attached to Michael Myers that I feel like he just wanted him to get free. Who knows? He might be the reason why he did get free. But I can't just say that though. Since we don't actually see him letting Michael Myers free. Or crash the prison bus. I think that was just random. Which, yeah, because the prison bus that Michael Myers was on, they basically everyone gets free. And I think I should talk more about Laurie Strode coming back to the movies before I talk more about Michael and him escaping. Since for 40 years, who's in a psychiatric hospital or whatever. With all those mental patients. And that beginning, man. Not the best way to start the movie. It just seemed a bit silly. Then the guy holding, Michael Myers' mask, just shouting his name, like, the dog barking, just all the mental patients just going crazy. Like, that seems more funny than, oh crap, this is going to get real. Or just more like laughing at that scene. Yeah, not the best way to start the movie. But then, when you hear the score, it's just like, it's alright, because the opening's cool. With the pumpkin and everything. How the pumpkin's just like growing up. You could kind of say that shows amount of time that's passed in a way. With that pumpkin in the opening scene. Yeah. So yeah. The opening credits makes up for that weird, start up to the movie. Yeah, it definitely does. And how they did the score. Yeah, they did a good job on that. But yeah, let's talk about Laurie Strode. So basically, Laurie Strode, I think she's had like 2 marriages, which didn't really go that well. But she got a daughter out of this one, which in H2O, Laurie Strode had a son. So I'm not really sure if she has a son in this universe, but we know that she has a daughter. But she actually left her mother much earlier because she lost custody from her daughter, which I guess that didn't really happen in the original timeline, because I guess in the original timeline she wasn't as careful after taking on Michael Myers twice. She took him on twice. Yet she didn't become that careful. Because, Halloween 2 and Halloween 1 are all in the same night, so you'd think. Well, I don't know. I know she tried to get away from the players, but Michael Myers still eventually found her. But if she moved to a different country, I wonder what that would do. But basically, the Laurie Strode from the original timeline didn't end up living. It's like from 1978 to 2002, Laurie Strode gets killed by Michael Myers. And then, like, this new timeline, Michael Myers doesn't even escape for some reason. But she's more prepared if Michael Myers actually does escape. Like, she's trained her daughter, which is kind of the main reason why she gets her daughter taken off her, because of the way how she would treat her daughter and get her ready if, like, Michael Myers ever attacks, just drilling it into her daughter's head. So she kind of, I don't know, doesn't like her mother because of that. Well, that's one thing she doesn't like about her mother, but later on in life, she does give her a chance, even when the daughter has her own daughter. Which, her daughter's daughter does, like the grandmother, which is, Laurie Strode at this point. She's a grandmother now. But she just does want to she does want Laurie Strode to let the past go, but seeing all your friends get killed, it's kind of hard to ever get rid of that. And I just wonder what the daughter's gonna do. Since by the end of the movie, like, all of her friends end up dead as well, so yeah. Wait, but there's still like one character who doesn't die from her friends anyway, so which we'll discuss that later since I've seen him in the cast for the new movie. Yeah, so some of the people from this movie are supposed to be in Halloween Kills, which we'll talk about that at the end. And one character who I don't know if they're playing the same character from the previous timeline, but yeah, I definitely want to talk about that one. But yeah, back to the story. So yeah, she basically ends up finding out that Michael Myers does escape, and oh my god, this is like one of the dumbest scenes of the movie. You know where there's a dad and a son driving back from somewhere or driving home or whatever they was doing at the night time, and they stumble across a prison bus with mental patients all over the place. And you know what the dad decides to do with his son in the car? Well, he just goes out and tries to do something about it. Like, what? Wouldn't like if you was in that situation and you seen like a prison bus with mental patients all over the place? Wouldn't you like turn back or at least try to get past them, but stay in the car, not go out and get yourself killed? Which Michael Myers sees him and then kills him, and then the son like he can't find his dad, so he tries to go out, and then he sees Michael Myers. Then he tries to get in the car, but Michael Myers gets him, which basically the dad basically got his son killed, him and his son killed anyway. Yeah, just Michael Myers goes on a killing spree since it has been 40 years, so he's probably hungry for blood. Oh God, because we next time see him going after the people from the beginning. Yeah, the people who was talking to Michael Myers and who was showing the mask to him. Because since he's gonna need his mask if he's gonna go back on the killing spree, so yeah, he basically goes after them and kills them. And they get destroyed, and basically gets his mask back. I also forgot to say that they also went to go visit Laurie Strode, and they tried to make Laurie Strode talk to Michael, and this was before he broke out as well, obviously. But she refused, and she didn't really tell him much anyway. Even though they were supposed to pay her like 3,000, that she doesn't really tell him too much. Because what can she really say? But I think she actually did listen to him. And sorry for how I just sounded there. That sounded a bit weird. No, I just went so high pitch. But yeah, I think because I didn't catch it when I first watched this movie, but I think she actually does go talk to Michael because like later on when she meets up with her family, she has a little breakdown when she's trying to get on with her life and be around her family. She kind of has a little breakdown, and I think that's because she actually went to go see Michael. And man, if that actually did happen, like we should have seen that scene. Like, just imagine if that scene was in the movie. I ain't got this movie on Blu-ray or anything, but who knows if there's a deleted scene where we get to see Michael and Laurie Strode talking with each other, even though like Michael probably wouldn't even say much. It still would have been a cool scene to have in the movie, which is kind of weird that they didn't do it, especially if she actually did go see Michael. Because why else is she crying like that? But I think she actually did say that she went to go see Michael. So yeah. So their whole war in the movie, I guess, wasn't completely pointless. Apart from Michael getting the mask from them, and then Laurie going to go see Michael because of them. Yeah. But yeah, they get killed anyway. But yeah, because why the hell would they keep Michael's mask with them? Of course, it's gonna go after you once he escapes. But yeah, what else should I focus on? Oh yeah, like I forgot. Yeah, the daughter. She's basically going out partying to celebrate what she's been doing at college because she's at college right now. I think So yeah, she goes to a party and it gets to a point where she loses her phone because her boyfriend throws it in a fruit punch or something because they're getting an argument because like the daughter's daughter, I can't remember her name right now, so I just said daughter's daughter. So Laurie Strode's daughter's daughter. Yeah. she basically sees her boyfriend kissing another girl, and then they kind of get in an argument. Then the boyfriend randomly tosses her phone in the food punch or whatever, and her grandmother's trying to call up since she finds out Michael Myers has escaped prison. So yeah, and then that's when she goes to her daughter's house to tell her what's going on, and then they're just trying their best to get in touch with her. She's in danger right now, so yeah. She doesn't even know what's going on. The the daughter's daughter. Oh my god, it's better if I knew her name. So yeah, and I watched the whole movie and I still don't know her name. I could have just went on the cast, but yeah. For the sequel, I should know the name when I review Halloween Kills. Yeah, next year if that definitely comes out. Because imagine if it gets delayed to 2022, just like the Batman movie. That would suck. Which I'm still kind of mad about the Batman movie being delayed. Because I'm waiting so long to see if Robert Pattinson's actually that good of a Batman. Because I actually don't have a favorite Batman in live action, and I wouldn't say desperate, but I'm really excited to see if he's actually any good, especially after Twilight. And I know he's been in good stuff anyway, so he's kind of like, I don't even know if you could say he's underrated at this point, since people have seen his good stuff other than Twilight. Yeah. Same with that woman from Twilight as well. Like, she has some good movies too. Some of them are underrated as well, which why people just look down on her. But yeah, back to this movie. So yeah, it basically gets to a point where she kind of leaves. Because also, like, I forgot to say about oh yeah, because that's kind of the same thing where yeah, like the daughter's daughter, brought her boyfriend to meet everyone, and that's when we had that scene where the grandmother has a breakdown, which is Laurie Strode, and I just kind of like the daughter's daughter, and oh my god, it just feels funny saying that, and Laurie Strode's relationship, because she does care about her grandmother probably more than the mother, and it's because the way how she was raised, which she does tell her daughter like everything that happened, how Laurie Strode taught her how to use a gun and everything, like, just drilling it into her head so much. Yeah, she basically tells her daughter that everything that happened. But yeah, so going back, I guess the boyfriend's kind of fine for the rest of the movie since he's safe. I also forgot to say that she did have a talk with some of her friends before as well, like before Halloween anyway. She was talking to her friends, like one of them was going to be babysitting. The other one, I guess, he's going to go over to the babysitter's house. Well, I mean, to the place where the other friend's babysitting, so they can kiss and stuff while she's babysitting. And you already know the rest for the other character, but yeah. Then there's the funny character, I guess. I guess you'd call him the funny character. He goes to the party too, but after that situation where the daughter's daughter sees her boyfriend kissing someone else and the argument and stuff, she kind of leaves with the funny character, and then he tries to, since he's probably like drunk or something, which that's the boyfriend's excuse as well, like that he's drunk. Basically, the funny character tries to kiss the daughter, and she doesn't really like that, so she abandons him. Then this is when Michael starts killing the friends off. Yeah, wait, is he the first victim or this? Would you say third victim? I can't remember which way it goes again. Because Michael does go to the babysitter's house as well, and we do get. This is where they actually made me actually kind of like the other girl who the one who either sleeps or kisses while they're in a horror movie, and they tend to always get killed. They actually made me like her for once. Well, because the one in the original movie, Laurie Strode's friend in the original movie, I didn't hate her, but it's not like she was doing the best thing compared to the one in this movie. Because it seems like she was a nice babysitter with that funny kid. Lol. And just his reaction to seeing Michael, oh shit! Just the way how he acted, man. Lol. And I think he's in the sequel as well, yeah. But she basically gets killed, which is, that was kind of sad when I first seen that. I actually wanted her to live. Also, the boyfriend, what she brings over, yeah. He tried to help, but he's a bit too late. And then he gets killed. And then that's when I think that's when he goes after the funny friend and then kills him. And then that's when the daughter sees that as well, and she's just running away. And then that's when the cops find her. And also, Dr. Loomis's student is in the car with the police officer, which that police officer was one of the first responders from the original movie, I guess. That's what they say anyway. And I don't know if you could say is one of the reasons why Michael Myers gets away in the first movie. Or should I say, doesn't die? I don't know. I don't know. However they explained it. Because we actually don't get to see Michael Myers getting caught, basically, since this is a different timeline. We're just kind of getting the information from what the characters say, since the second movie didn't exist. Yeah. So what else do I need to cover? Oh yeah, the scene, another dumb scene again. Well, it's not a dumb scene. It's more like a just why scene. It's well, it's dumb for what the character does. So basically, I already said like how weird the Dr. Loomis's student was. If how he was just so obsessed with Michael Myers, where with Loomis, like he knew how evil Michael Myers was, so there wasn't really anything to study, just to keep him away from people. That's what he really cared about, and if I got to the point where he had to kill him, then he would. But with this guy, like he just wants to study him so much. He wants to truly understand him, and it got to the point where he kills the first responder from the first movie, and then he basically has the daughter hostage as well in the back of the car, and puts Meg, and because the first responder from the first movie hits Michael Myers, and like in that scene, the doctor gets out the car to check on Michael if he's still alive, and then he just like afterwards he just kills the first responder from the first movie, if he's from the first movie or whatever. And then we just kind of see his true colors at that point, and really, that was just such a dumb choice. Like, just why why would you go that far? It makes no sense. And then he just says, "Oh, that's how it feels to kill." Like, just why? It's a dumb choice. And then he just puts Michael Myers in the back of the car with the daughter, and then Michael Myers wakes up. Well, before then, his like the daughter tries to make up a lie to get out the car about that she actually hears Michael talk, and then like Michael's waking up, and then the doctor's like Michael, and then he's just getting killed after that, like, just getting bashed, and the daughter basically escapes, and then I don't think the cops actually see Michael since he's like a stealth ninja or something. But oh yeah, like I said, like he basically kills the doctor by bashing his head in with his foot. Lol. He popped like a pumpkin. Lol. Because like the doctor's final words, say something. Instead, he just pops his head open like he's a pumpkin or something. Lol, he deserved that. And just kind of a wasted character, really. And yeah, there's just this movie has a lot of dumb choices, but that's like the dumbest choice in the whole movie, definitely. What they did with his character, other than that other scene with the son and dad, yeah, that scene just randomly making him a villain. We also see him like put on Michael Myers' mask because he possibly thinks that Michael could be dead, but he still brings him along. Then he gets killed and all that. Yeah, that was just a dumb choice. That's what I'm gonna say. But basically, Michael drives to where Laurie Strode is hiding out with her daughter, because Laurie Strode basically has like a fort in her house. She has everything just fortified, like just ready when Michael actually comes and attacks. She does bring her family there, so they'll be safe. But oh yeah, I didn't really talk about the dad because who cares about the dad in this movie? Norris Straude's daughter's husband, basically. What I'm trying to say. Yeah, yeah, he was a bit weird in the movie. Some of his jokes as well. Yeah, I'd rather not talk much about them. That's what I'm gonna say. Because if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, he was a weird dad. Even the daughter was like, "Really, dad? Why the hell are you saying this stuff?" But yeah, he's basically the first victim once. Well, you could say he's the last victim once Michael Myers makes it to the house, and he kind of surprises the dad with, like, because he basically sees the cop car, and he thinks that they've come back with some news, but he just sees dead cops with one of them looking like they're a jack o' lantern, when it's actually a cop's head. Like, damn, I like that kill. And then the dad dies after that. But then Laurie Strode sees that, and then she kind of gets ready for Michael's attack, and also tells the daughter to go down the place where it's kind of a place that she dreaded to go down when she was a kid. Yeah. But this time it was for the right reasons. Then Laurie Strode just gets behind the door, and then that's when Michael comes and tries to kill her. And then when she's like in a fight with Michael just grabbing her through the window, through the door window, she's able to get the shotgun and then shoot his hand off. One of his Seems like she gets some of his fingers off on one of his hands from that shotgun blast. Man, I don't even know how Michael works in this franchise. Well, after Resurrection, where he basically lost his whole head, like he possibly grew those fingers back anyway. Like, Michael's so hard to kill, man. Especially by the end of this movie as well, because we know he's still alive. Especially at the end credit scene. Well, it's not really an end credit scene; it's more like a listening scene. Like, you have to listen to know. But obviously, he's still alive. I heard some people don't like that, but it is Michael Myers. He's like Jason and Freddy Krueger, which I don't even know if Freddy Krueger actually died in the final movie, but because they would like after that movie, the last movie that Robert Englund's actually in is Freddy vs. Jason. So unless that's before Freddy's dead, I don't know. No, I don't know. It don't really matter about that. Because yeah, I still got to review Halloween 4 and Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Yeah, they will be coming next. But yeah, like, it seems like in this movie they kind of make a lot of references to the first movie, but it's kind of like the tables have turned, where it seems like Michael Myers was on top in the first movie, but in this movie, like, it's the other way around, since she's more prepared, and basically a lot of the things that Michael Myers did to her in the first movie, she kind of does that to Michael, which is funny. Like, when in the first movie where Michael Myers is behind her in the shadows, and then he strikes. Like, it's the other way around, but she says, like, "Happy Halloween, Michael." Also, when it gets to a point where Laurie Strode gets tossed out the window from Michael Myers, it seems like she's, dead on the ground, but when he hears the daughter, Michael Myers turns, and then he looks back again, but then Laurie Strode's disappeared, which is like a reference to the, original movie's ending, and kind of one of the scenes where Laurie Strode's looking at the window in the original movie, where she sees someone there, and then she looks back again, then he's disappeared. That's what Laurie Strode basically is. She's become Michael at this point. Lol. Yeah. But then, like, all the family kind of works together to put Michael down the place where they was hiding out. Because, well, I've got to say a scene where the daughter is acting like she's scared, and I mean, like, Laurie Strode's daughter, not the daughter's daughter. Like, she's acting like she's scared that she's not going to be able to shoot Michael, and then Michael shows himself. Then she just says, "Gotcha." And then Michael, I think, falls down the stairs, and everyone just goes upstairs at that point. And then Michael's trying to get back up with the knife, but then they just push him down, and then that's when Laurie Strode sets her final trap, which locks him inside. And then, like, she has one more trick, and then just lights him up and then the whole house goes on fire, and they escape. And then in the end credits, Michael, we kind of hear breathing. So yeah, Michael's still alive, obviously. And we already know that there's going to be another movie, Halloween Kills, that was supposed to come out this year, but since of the virus situation, we have to wait until 2021. But yeah, that's kind of everything that I should cover. Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. And if there's anything I missed, I guess we could talk about it in the comments if you'd want to. Maybe I could still have 1 or 2 more videos Halloween related. But other than that, I'm kind of done reviewing the movies for now until next year, where I review the average and bad ones. Halloween 2 is the average one, by the way, for me. Even though I know a lot of you guys possibly love Halloween 2, but I'm sorry, I just wasn't one of them. I find that average. I'm sorry. I didn't love that sequel or really like it. I just found it average. Yeah, for the characters that they focused on in the movie, which in my opinion they basically would be minor characters if they was focusing on the main characters. That's what I'm trying to say, and that's the characters that they decided to focus on. Yeah, another example, but video game related. Where that Fast and Furious game that came out, where they had the cast, but they would focus on these random minor characters who we don't really care about. And if you played the game, then you know what I mean. And hey, if you still enjoyed the game, then good for you. I'd say that's an average game anyway, but yeah, that's my whole review. So yeah, I guess I could do my favorite, Halloween mask, my favorite Michael Myers mask. Yeah, I could rank the masks. The masks, sorry. And then what else? Furies or something? I don't know. For what could happen in the next Halloween movie. But that's something I'd rather do, next Halloween. For what could happen. Because I'll be getting more hyped for the movie then. So, yeah, I might skip that video and save that for next Halloween. But yeah, I might rank my favorite masks. Even though I'm not gonna. We'll just see if I still do that. I'll let you guys know if I don't do it, but yeah, I'll just save it for next Halloween, where I've watched all the movies, and then I can have my Fury videos for what could happen in the newest movie. But yeah, guys, that's it for now. Hope you enjoyed the review, and this is the last Halloween review, which I'm still going to be reviewing A Nightmare on Elm Street movies. Well, 2 more. Then The Shining. Then there's like 2 other movies that I review, and I think that's it. But yeah, from now to the 30th, I'll still be reviewing movies. Because the 31st, I'm just going to be celebrating Halloween with my family, but I'll still have like a premiere video set up where it'll be a review of the first Walking Dead episode, Days Gone By. Since it'll be the 10th anniversary of the Walking Dead TV show. So I'll have that premiere set up, which it will be like at 10 p.m, 11 p.m. UK time. But yeah, that's it for this review. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.